Yo. So, I want to go over one sign the Eagles were definitely not going to make, which happened a couple days ago. I want to go over the running back position. I know I've been harping the running backs a lot. We will get into other positions, but definitely the running backs down the line if the Eagles don't go early at running back. What are the possibilities that are out there? And interesting enough, we'll see what happens. So let's get into all the news. What is going on, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day today. So first, I want to go over news that happened a couple days ago. No, Eagles fans were talking about Jeffrey Simmons and, trying to make a trade for DT, maybe, kind of just get it done and not have to worry about it anymore. But it looks like even with Jeffrey Simmons, he signed a mega deal, guys. He signed a really good deal. And I don't know. Hopefully the numbers are right. I read the numbers. Hopefully I'm not wrong on this. Signed a 4-year extension, I think worth up to $94 million, and it was like 23.5 base salary, which is pretty damn good. 25, 26 years old. I just didn't see them making this deal. The cap hit wasn't a big deal at $10 million, whatever it was there, 10 point something million dollars, which I had no issue with. The issue with what were you going to have to give up to the Titans for a 25, 26-year-old. And yes, they have a new GM, so they're not going to get swindled. They're not going to get, ripped on anything as of right now. And going forward, what were you going to do in money-wise? You're not going to give up draft picks for another player and then just, rent him for the year. And I don't think that's what Jeffrey Simmons wanted anyway. I think he really wanted to stay in Tennessee. I think he really tried to get something done. It just took a little bit of time. But he got what he wanted. These DTs are getting paid over 20 to 20 plus a year. That's just what the salary is right now. Hargrave left the Eagles with $21 million a year at 30 years old, which the Eagles were definitely not going to pay. And trust me, if they made that move, I probably would have been really, really pissed off. But I'm really glad that they didn't go that route. At the end of the day, obviously you have a hole there. The Eagles got to find that complementary piece to Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, obviously no defensive lineman could do it by himself, but, it's a team game at the end of the day. But you want to get some talent in the building. The Eagles have 2 first-round picks. And, yes, we've seen, guys, like even Jalen Carter that could be available. And I think it is a very strong pick for the Eagles at 10 if he is available. And I feel like if he is there, the Eagles will 100% take him at that point. And I think, having him with Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean again would be a great thing. We've talked about it a million times. I know we're kind of, beating a dead horse here, but this is a position that we really need to fill. I like Fletcher Cox in the rotation. I like the addition of Kadavius Street a lot, and I think he'll garner 3 to 5 sacks for the year, and who knows, maybe more. You never know what can happen here. I think your edge rushers are really good right now besides Barnett, that hopefully if Barnett can at least disrupt the backfield a little bit, maybe we have something here. Son Rex coming off of double-digit sacks. Brandon Graham, double-digit sacks. I mean, Josh Sweat gets better and better every year, man. You know what I mean? So, and his contract is dwindling down too. So, you could have some, you might need a future piece at defensive end. You might, there's other free agents out there, at defensive end, like Leonard Floyd. Sorry, I was brain farting for a second. For Leonard Floyd, Jadeveon Clowney, Yannick Ngakoue. I mean, there's Frank Clark is still out there. There's still a lot of good defensive ends out there. So, making a trade like this, it would have cost you money. And it would have cost you some draft capital. There's no way he was going to be cheap at 25, 26 years old, defensive tackle, really, really good player. It just wasn't going to happen. The money was going to be an issue, and I already knew that was going to happen. So, that's why you go a different route. That's why you go into the draft. The more you draft, the more better you draft. You go into these drafts and draft a whole lot and get a lot of value. The less cap you're going to have to spend, less draft picks you're going to have to trade to really want players badly, unless you're just really aggressive like Howie Roseman is. And I just don't like trading for guys that have 1 year left. And I know that Howie, that's like his bread and butter. He loves doing that. And then to not get a deal done at the end of the year kind of sucks. You gave away 2 draft picks for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You couldn't re-sign him. And I don't blame Howie for that. Howie put out a contract. It was a backloaded contract. I get why Chauncey was pissed at that. I get it. So, and then, giving up giving up draft picks for players that either don't produce, and I think that's another big one too. So I feel like with the Eagles here, there's a lot that you can really get your teeth into in the draft, and I think they could fill that spot easily. There's no doubt. I look at Kalijah Kancey, I look at obviously Jalen Carter, and I'm a big Jalen Carter fan. As much as I'm not a fan of what he does outside the field, but his play, I'm a huge fan of. But really excited about that. Other news, and I think going down the line with running backs, before I even get into some of the running backs, it's when I name, and this is all just opinion, guys. This is just my thoughts on the running back position. I could be right, could be wrong. I'm wrong every year about things. But when it comes down to it, the Eagles have 3 running backs right now. Boston Scott, Rashad Penny, and you have Kenneth Gainwell. Now, I think the Eagles like Kenneth Gainwell a lot, but I don't think he's a 3-down back. I think he made a nice push at the end of the year. He really played really well. And his contract is dwindling down, and the Eagles don't want to re-sign running backs right now. It's just not going to happen. Even down the road with Kenny G could be a big trade candidate next year. He could be on the, I think he's got another year, 2 years. I forgot how many years he has left on his deal. But his contract is dwindling down. Boston Scott just likes to come back. It's just what he likes to do. He wants to play special teams. I think he just likes the people, the guys here. And I just don't think Boston Scott wants to play anywhere else. I think he will come here every year for $1 to $2 million a year, literally every single year. And and I think if they add another running back in this draft, whether it's the first round or down the line, I think Boston Scott could move to special teams full time, and then if injuries happen, he goes back to running back and does double duty as well. So put that into effect as well if they draft another guy. And Rashad Penny, he was cheap because of his injuries. I mean, $600,000 guaranteed is literally getting him for free, and that's just what it is. That's why you got him. He only lasted 5 games last year, but at 100%, his yak is ridiculous. Just what he could do on the field. The guy can run any direction at full speed, and with this offensive line, Penny could be a total monster here. And I just don't know if I could trust him staying healthy for 17 games. So you go into the draft, and you don't draft Gibbs, you don't draft Bijan Robinson, right? You go into the draft, you do all that stuff. And look, I think the most gifted, high ceiling of a running back that's out there right now that I think is overlooked, and I think teams are starting to give him a little bit more attention, is going to be Zach Charbonnet. That probably will be a second-round pick, okay? He will probably be a second-round pick in this draft. He's moving up, and what he does, how he runs through the tackles, bulldozer, bruiser, you name it. I'm literally looking at running backs that are between 5'10", 5'11", 210 to 220 something pounds because those are the running backs they like. Okay, at the end of the day, and with Zach Charbonnet is going to put defenders off their heels. The guy is I think he's the most NFL pro-ready running back that's out there that I think in a rotation is going to be really well. I think the guys that we'll talk about will be good in rotations because obviously if you're drafting guys, like this, they might not be that premier guy. I don't think the Eagles will do that if they draft a guy with between the second and fifth rounds of this draft. But with Zach Charbonnet, you're getting a mean streak. You're getting he packs a punch at the end of the day, and just watch the tape. It's all there. I think one of my favorites in this draft because I like those bulldozing running backs that not just like contact but like to get away from it and find that open space, and that's Tank Bigsby as well. I really do like his tape. I think definitely a third rounder the Eagles could definitely get. Tank is obviously it's in his name. That's what he does, and he's got really good vision, and I think has another good high ceiling type running back that's in this draft, and even guys that really don't start entirely in college that really make good plays. And you could talk about guys like, maybe Kenny McIntosh that is a receiving back, bigger type back, could go out for passes. Plus, you could run him through the tackles, and like I said, he's another guy that could push the pile a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of guys here that could do a little bit more for the value that you're getting. So there's good value in this draft when it comes to running back. So for the Eagles to re-sign Miles Sanders, it just wasn't going to happen. Like to me, at $6 million a year, even though it was affordable for the Eagles, they knew that they had a good draft on their hands right now, and they haven't brought in any other running backs yet besides Bijan Robinson, but there could be a lot of interest with some of these other guys. So interesting enough to see if they bring in other running backs. Even getting guys like Kendre Miller. There's guys out there, and I've already discussed a few of them already. And I think what I'm looking at right now is bruiser back, elusiveness, pass catcher, receiving back type. That's what they kind of want. They don't want that Miles Sanders type running back. I think obviously Nick dealt with Miles because he was already here from another head coach that was here in Doug Peterson that drafted him, obviously. Okay. And I think Nick was looking like, you look at guys that are here like Trey Sermon, and they just don't think he could just pan out. And I just wish they used him more, or at least give him more of a shot. Kennedy Brooks, that played with Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma, runs between the tackles really well. Another bigger type back. And even in the past, guys, we've had guys. We've had bigger backs that never really got their shot, or worked out here, or never really made it or made this team. I just feel like as of right now they want that bigger, elusive, more punishing back that could find open space but welcome contact and have some yak yards on top of it. I think they want a balance of everything and type of bigger back. That's what they're kind of looking for right now, in my opinion. But like these guys a lot, and the problem is they don't have any 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. It's one of the big reasons right now. I'm just I don't want them to overreach for somebody easily, and I think that's what I'm kind of afraid of going into this draft. We don't have any 4th, 5th rounds, 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, so let's just go get this guy in the 3rd just because we don't have picks. I'm wondering right now if the Eagles are going to trade back. I feel like they will. I feel like if there is a guy that they want, they know they can get maybe 2 to 5 spots back. I feel like they could do it. I feel like they need to try to get another 2nd round pick this year. I feel like they have to in some way. There's some possibilities where I think they move back from 30 really more than moving back from 10. I feel like there's too much talent at 10 to get a blue chip guy in the building. Even if you move back from the 1st round at 30, if you trade back, I feel like they can still get a top talent regardless, because somebody will drop, and I think the Eagles will have somebody targeted at that time where they're like, yeah, let's definitely get some more mid-round picks. So they can even get an extra 4th round pick or a 5th round pick. It'd be pretty good. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't mind it at all. If there's a team that wants to move up in the 1st round, the Eagles are right there in a pretty good spot. Even at 30, there's going to be a team that's like, we want to jump and try to get in there and get somebody that we want. So, like I said, running back class is great. If they don't go running back early, and more rotational guys, but guys have a lot of high ceiling, and a lot of them are out there. We talked about Jeffrey Simmons, DT, what they would do. This defensive line, we need more pieces. It's just not enough right now. Even the exception of maybe we need another linebacker, maybe we need another safety. Maybe we need more depth at cornerback. You know what I mean? The defense is really the only problem I'm having right now, and just got to give it time. 2 1st-round picks. You can't complain, but they got to hit on the right guys. Especially, I'm not saying that it's got to be all defensive guys. I still feel like they're going to draft 2 offensive guys in the 1st round. That is my opinion. But we'll see. We'll find out. You guys let me know what you guys think about the running backs in general. Who is your favorite running back? Would you draft someone between the 3rd and 5th rounds of this draft, 2nd round, whatever the case may be? Who would you draft? I like to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. So I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a great day. SHAKESQUAD, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.